Hey there, welcome. My name is Emily. This is a quick Unsync guide to Alphascape version 1 Savage. Please pay attention to Earthquake and Cyclone, as these two mechanics can still wipe the party. Chaos has two distinct patterns of mechanics. The pattern is determined by the first move Chaos uses. I will first show you the implosion pattern. Latitudinal implosion. He will cast two sets of two cones back to back. The first set will be at each of his flanks. The second set will be in front and behind him. He can also do longitudinal implosion, which is just the other way around. You can use the faint purple gas thing on the floor as a visual guide as well. Tsunami. Red white AoE, and applies a dynamic fluid debuff to all players. Once the debuff runs out, a donut AoE will be cast around the player. The first set of donut explosion will go off when he first jumps. The second set will explode around the end of Damning Edict. Damning Edict. Strong knockback to all targets in front of him. Chaotic Dispersion. A tank buster. Tsunami. Same as the first Tsunami, but one healer needs to go south and the other north. This will resolve both the knockdown and Big Bang combo. Fiendish Orb. Two orbs will spawn, one in the north and one in the south. Have a tank or someone tanky grab it. Earthquake is the most difficult part of this fight. It does a red white AoE, and applies two types of debuffs. The tanks and healers must be at full health before the accretion debuff ends. And the DPS needs to die before the primordial crust debuff timer ends. In order to achieve this, the tanks and healers must try not to get hit by longitudinal or latitudinal implosion. The DPS will do the opposite, as they want to get hit by both implosions. Failure to resolve this mechanic will end in instant death. As long as the healers and tanks are alive, you should be fine, so just make sure they are fully healed. If you happen to see more of the second Earthquake mechanics, remember to not stack the stack markers. Please check the video description for an in-depth guide. Let's take a look at the next pattern. Pattern 2. Damning Edict. This pattern will contain the fire and wind phase. Damning Edict. Chaos will face one random player, and fire a room-wide AoE in front of him. Blaze. Tanks and healers should run to a cardinal location at the edge to resolve entropy. After the first entropy goes off, dodge the next implosion mechanic. The second set of entropy on the DPS will go off next. Chaotic Dispersion. A tank buster. Another round of Blaze. But this time each DPS needs to stack with a tank and healer for knockdown. After the knockdown, the second entropy will go off. Try to avoid clipping each other. Quickly move into the middle to avoid the area where the knockdown mechanic was resolved. Big Bang will strike the same area, dealing massive damage. Fiendish orbs. A bunch of AoE lines. Avoid them accordingly. Cyclone. Inflicts tailwind on DPS and headwind on tanks and healers. The DPS must face the cyclone, and the tanks and healers must look away. This debuff can only be removed when players are knocked back. However, if they are facing the wrong direction, the knockback will knock them further off the arena. After the leap, Chaos will immediately cast Damning Edict. You can pop Sprint and a knockback immunity here, but remember to resolve the tailwind and headwind debuff. Another round of Cyclone, but this time, 2 healers will receive a proximity knockdown marker. This is followed by Big Bang, so remember to immediately move away from where you drop off the markers. You will also resolve the tailwind or headwind debuff at the same time. I'm sorry the footage recorded is a bit messy. This was our first try. The fight is fairly easy at level 80, and you should be able to blind run it in your first few tries.
In short, Emily covered that Chaos has 2 different distinct patterns of mechanics. Chaos rotates through pre-scripted elemental phases, each with its own unique set of debuffs. In the water phase, players will need to watch out for the donut AoE. In the Earth phase, the tanks and healers need to be fully topped off, and the DPS needs to die on purpose. In the Fire phase, spread out, and avoid clipping each other. In the Wind phase, the tanks and healers must look away from the cyclone, and the DPS must face the cyclone. I will answer any questions you have, so be sure to leave them in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.